Hey there, everybody! Thank you for coming to the third episode of Glued Hand Hobbying. Today we'll be building some Defcoptas. Sorry for the well over 6 people who've watched the last episode when it cut out because my computer decided that it was done living. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I was able to resuscitate her, but she's about a decade old now. So, in the comments, if you are listening, say hi, let us know what you're working on, and join the chat. So Defcopters are actually one of my favorite models in Orcs, just because they really capture that kind of ramshackle ad hoc look that they have going for them. What they really remind me of is exactly what I would have made as a helicopter if I was an Orc when I was 12. They have this really kind of an engine goes here because that's what engines do. So we are starting out with the C-25, strapping that bad boy to C-26. How's the Demon Patrol going? That well, eh? You know it's in a good spot when it's still in the box. Usually when I have models in the box, it's the best it'll ever look. So nice and clean on the sprue. No, one thing I've been working on here with a lot of these is just trying to get the mold lines erased. I feel like I still do a terrible job with it. But, when I had one of my friends prime things for me back when I lived in Madison, I was like, oh, I didn't even notice these lines here, and now all I can see is those lines. It's kind of amazing how once you get some paint on it, those things really just kind of pop out. This one came snapped together quite well. Majority of the Defcopter already done. I just got to get the blades onto it. Kind of feel like you could do a really cool, really fast orc list using the jump pack guys and the Defcopters, and they have a lot of bikes and squigs and stuff. I feel like that would be kind of neat. I don't know if it's any good, but I don't know if anything is any good in 40K, so I just kind of make it up as I go along. It's kind of weird building models after playing Tears of the Kingdom the whole week. Because I've been kind of just building stuff ad hoc, and it's kind of like that game is sort of an orc building laboratory where everything's just kind of slapped together and you hope for the best. Wow, this is a really simple model. I'm kind of surprised by this. I wonder if anyone in the comments has made the full Defcoptas box. Is it this kind of like cut and dry, where a huge portion of the model is just already put together? Can't imagine that's the case. All right, nice and easy on that one. Snap it in there. Now I just got to get the head and stuff on. He's a big model, though. I'm kind of surprised how high off the ground he is. Give him a little head. Oh, that's pretty surprising. Yeah, I figured, I don't know. I guess, like, I haven't really done, like, a lot of GW stuff until about a year ago, since, I want to say, like, 2010, maybe 2009. I just remember, like, some of those models were just hellaciously complex. One of my friends was telling me about what old time Lurbits, Lehman Russ battle tanks were like, and apparently they were just little nightmares. Which sounds particularly awful. Let's get him some arms so he can whack things. I do like that the blades on this are, I guess, a weapon because they look little axe heads on them, which is also exactly how I would build a helicopter as a 12-year-old. It's like, well, I'm gonna be fighting things. We should put some guns on it, put some swords on it. I do appreciate though how all of the orc flyers and equipment, even though it is powered literally by, belief that it will work, that somehow, for some reason, they're still significantly more aerodynamic than Space Marine flyers, which is like, just, they're like, get a brick, put some wings on it, and if you strap enough jets, eventually, it will fly. What do I want this arm to be? I do appreciate the freedom of positioning that you have with a lot of GW stuff that you don't really have with some other kind of miniature war games. Even the kind of like 3-point sort of connection ones aren't even that bad, really. I remember making, gosh, what are they called? Nis Hunters with Legion, not Legion. I used them in Signarn with trolls, but they were like elves or something, and just building those guys with the bows, miserable. Now, one of my friends, Andy, he ended up buying just sword bits off the internet, and he made them with 10 guys with swords and all bows on the back because the bows were so bad. Which, I mean, more power to you. I don't blame him for that choice one bit. They were minions. Or were they mercenaries? They're probably minions. They're probably both, really. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with War Machine. Stuff just got so broken at the end, And if your game is like so like competitive focused, it's something that when that falls apart, it's really bad. Uh-huh. And our first Death Copter is done. Pretty quick, easy, straightforward. I feel like I'm connecting these two, or cutting these too high up. Well, definitely too high up on the camera. I think, I honestly think the camera work's gotten better. I know it's still not very good, but you can actually kind of see what I'm doing now. I never did decide what I'm going to do with that random Imp Guard flag I found in here. Have you gotten Tears of the Kingdom yet? Because if you're waiting for it to go on sale, it's Nintendo. It's never going on sale. Breath of the Wild is still $60 when they're on their e-store. And honestly, I really haven't run into any bugs with it. It's remarkably stable. Especially for a game that is on a piece of equipment that's like older than most of my friends' kids. Because even when it came out, it was on a. Even when it came out, the Switch was on like a pretty old chipset. I think it's a decade old now for the chipset. I honestly don't understand how the game runs. Like, it looks and runs so well on such an outdated piece of equipment. It kind of is like embarrassing for the rest of the industry. But it's also like only running at 30 frames per second, which I know some people are like really big frame per second people who are like, oh, if it's not in 60, might as well be made out of crepe paper and tissues. But like, I've never been that. And it's got kind of an art style that I like quite a bit. Kind of like this almost like painterly flatness that I really like. I think it's cool. I am kind of hoping that it. I mean, it sold like a bajillion copies, right? But like, it's Zelda. Like, it's one of the few like kind of like absolutely unimpeachable IPs in gaming. Like, I would put it up there with like probably really just Mario. I think everything else is kind of like, besides those two franchises, everything else is kind of like really collapsed. There isn't anything from that way back era. Kind of like Metroid, I guess, but Other M was really terrible and it shut that IP down for a couple of years. Maybe something like God of War could have that kind of staying power because they've kind of had a rebirth, but even that had like a down period where it kind of fell under the radar. But I mean, Zelda had, The Legend of Zelda 2, which was not like terrible. It had some cool innovations, but it wasn't especially great. How on earth is this going to stand up? This thing is being held on by like a twig of plastic. You can also just with those mold lines with orcs is like, especially if it's on a piece of metal, get some putty or something, kind of like make a ridge, I guess, and then you can be like, oh, it's a soldering line, and then you just kind of paint it to be a little off because they're orcs. They're not exactly artisans. How do you feel about the night changes? I know you're a Knights player, or I guess you play Chaos Knights, don't you? Would that be I mean, it's kind of like they're sharing the same deck, aren't they? The same stratagem deck, all that stuff. So they got to be pretty similar. Nope, that is upside down. Are they the same model? Like, which ones are the same? That's cool. But like, some of them have like spikes and stuff on it because that's how you know it's chaosy. Is if there's like spikes and skulls, or more exposed skulls as opposed to just like regular skulls. The armatures are the same, like same box and everything, same SKU. How is the? Did you finish up the Abaddon conversion, or are you still working on that, or is that still in the planning phase? Cool. Are there anything? Is there anything that is completely just one or the other, or are they all kind of like that? Oh my gosh, why did they make this go together like this? Okay. Something existing on the painting table is usually a pretty good place for it to be in my case. Because I got a good chunk of work done on it. Again, if you're watching this and like, oh, I should use a knife like that, please don't. For the love of all things good. Canis Rex is like a character, or not a character, a named whatever. I don't know what the correct nomenclature is in this game. I kind of wish that they had gone like the War Machine route and been like, this is a solo. Solos can get these things, and there's characters are like characters, you know. No, one of my friends made me a knight, and he magnetized it as a going away gift. It's got the flag of Madison on it. It's really cool. I haven't had a chance to use it in the game yet, mostly because my shift up until very recently was not conducive to going down for tabletop games, but we're trying to get everything around. And helicopter wings have been added. Or blades, wings, whatever. Same thing. Now we just gotta give this dude some arms and a head. And legs, I suppose. Hey, man, what's up? Still got family in town, or are you going to be able to chat on here for a bit? It goes. I don't think many people are on, or I think it's only probably you and Don, but, just having someone on here is always nice. Hoping a couple more people show up, but if they don't, that's cool. Is that a good thing that they're here all weekend, or? Sometimes family's weird, you know? Also, my OnlyFans is only hands, thank you. Because you can only see my hands, which are also weirdly erotic. That's good. It's always good when you have like a good supportive family and stuff. I know for some people it's like just stressful and everything, but let's not that. That's awesome. I think my mother-in-law is visiting this weekend, which is kind of I don't really like her, but she's got a level of intensity that I find unnerving at times. We also don't have kids. Yeah, that tends to having in-laws or having kids or being married is a big part of having in-laws. No, we haven't been blessed by kids yet. We haven't had that opportunity, unfortunately. Okay. Oh well, thank you. I'd like to think so. I was. We're gonna get into the personal time chat here. I was really scared about having kids and kind of didn't want to until I played 2018's God of War, and I'm like, maybe I can do this, which is like kind of a weird thing to say. Like when a video game affects you that way, but it's a really good story. If you have a PlayStation 4 and haven't tried that one out yet, give it. Oh wait, it's on PC now. Yeah, give that a spin. I know you're a PC gamer. All right. Yeah, back catalog. Back catalog is getting long for me as well. I still have to like play and beat Elden Ring. I got like halfway through that, and then something else came up. I never got back into it. Those games are kind of weird in that like I have a hard time, like especially big games like that. Like once I'm out, I have a hard time getting back in. There he is. And our last Death Copter. These guys came together way faster than the boys did. Way faster. Ooh, nicely done with the Bloodmaster. Those are always cool. Do you think you're gonna get other demons, or do you think you're just gonna be hanging out with that crew? Because you can get them in Chaos Space Marines now, right? That'd be pretty cool. I guess you have to like see how much like a Bloodthirster or whatever will cost before making plans for that. But like, it'd be pretty cool to have there. Do they get affected by stuff or not, or are they like their own weird little detachment? The ally system seems kind of weird to me. And maybe it's because like the faction versus friendly thing works really well. Do they get their own detachment and army abilities, or is it like completely like vanilla and blank? It's a little disappointing. Although I guess it'd be like really powerful. But then again, like Space Marines would be able to take like Leman Russes, I suppose. Oh, it will include their Deep Strike. Yeah, that's really good then. Yeah, Deep Strike's big for them. Yeah, I mean, I probably complained about this a lot, but like the lack of points has made it really hard for me to get excited about any of the sort of preamble things. Or preview things, I suppose, is the right term. Welcome back. I'm doing this in the wrong order again. Well, the legs are a little bit more visible this time. Coming along nicely there. Okay, getting the last leg put on him. And then we just gotta get this giant bomb thing strapped to his butt. That needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I feel like there's a proper way to do this that I'm just not doing in terms of like how you remove the piece from the sprue. But like as long as it comes out, it doesn't really worry too much. I have to worry about my technique for sprue removal. Not that anyone, feel like if I put this into a competition, then I'm like, you clipped that sprue a little too far outside. Gonna have to deduct some points. I don't think they'll ever even know. This will be our secret, everybody. Oh, I already destroyed some plastic. How is this supposed to work? What's the Golden Demon's award? Or just Golden Demon, singular? There can only be one. It's like the Highlander. I mean, I could spend hundreds of hours painting a model. It'd look terrible, but I'm not impressed by how much time they spent on it. Also, I think I just hit my mic with a bit of sprue, so sorry about that if there was a loud, like, crack against the people wearing headphones. No, the bomb fell off. Okay, I gotta find another way to get this bomb on here. Time for my old friend, glue. Fudge. One time I got my glue bottle stuck, so I ran a lighter across it, and it cleared it right out. It looks sweet as hell. Also, I just like fire. Fire is cool. Come on. Okay, we're gonna try going with another method. I'm gonna flip this thing upside down. Put it back in. See if that helps. Oh, it does. Gravity, you've done it again. Fuck. Rick. Good save. Good save. The bomb could drop at any moment. Alright. Well, that's all of those guys. That went way faster than I thought it would. Haven't had a lot of times for clubs. So let's go ahead and build one last thing. We're going to go with the Mega War Boss that comes in here. With this guy. If I can find the model sprue thing. Aha! For some reason, this dude's foot comes in like 3 different parts. He does have a spiky foot though, which, you know. One spiky foot. That spiky foot goes on Oh, it goes like this? Okay. What is this tomfoolery? I'll have to wait. We need to get the other side of his foot, or his other foot. I really like the war bosses. I think they're very cool. I wish the orcs would get their preview, even if they don't have points. Like, I kind of want to know what I'm making. But I think tomorrow is Tau, right? Or what is tomorrow? Someone who pays attention way better than me needs to answer that question in the comments. Don't care who it is. Yeah, it's Tau. Yeah! Tau. The best faction in the game per a random Redditor. I know some people really think Space Marines are going to be very good this coming right out the gate. And they probably will be just because their codexes, they're getting the first codex. But like the rerolls against a single model, or not model, single unit seems, I don't know, like it's powerful, but like I don't think it's that powerful, right? Like, because it's only against one thing. You know, so if you have more than one thing, yeah, you can pick a new unit every turn, but like you kill the crap out of that one unit. Yeah, but like if you're playing against another Space Marine army, right, and they put them into combat patrols, they can have like 15 units. It is really good into Knights. It will be good into stuff like Knights and oh gosh, what are they called? What are the shiny, like the shiny gold plus one Space Marines? Custodes, maybe? Right? Custodes? Yeah, Custodes. They're probably good into that too, because like those guys will bring 6 models. Like, and everyone else, like, it's going to be, like, it seems like it should be good, not great. You know, like, it's always good to be able to say, hey, I am going to delete that one unit, right? But, like, I don't know. I think there has been some hand wringing I've seen that seems unwarranted at this juncture. How on earth are you supposed to get this stupid thing in? You're supposed to have, like, this foot just, like, laying here in this crevice, and you're supposed to, like, snap him. This is for someone who has significantly more manual dexterity than a putz like me. Let's see if we can kind of hook it in like this, though. Hey, hey. A little bit of wiggle in that foot that I'm not a big fan of, but it is what it is. Now I want to put his head in that thingy on. The tactical thing I think is really good. The being able to just like at any turn say that you're able to fall back and shoot or advance and charge and shoot. Like I think all that stuff is really good. I think that's really cool. No, that's a really good point. I like that. That's a really good point. You're just choosing like having to like force options, you know? And then at least when I played War Machine and when I played Black Templars, I basically be like, I'm going to take this one thing. In War Machine, it was like sometimes it would be a Mauler, sometimes it would be Mulg, sometimes it would be oh gosh, champions, of course. Like champions is what it was like 90% of the time, especially near the end. But like sometimes it'd be the Mountain King or whatever, and I'd just be like, I am making this thing borderline impossible to kill, and I'm not. And I feel like rerolls probably pushes Space Marines, at least like specific builds of Space Marines, to that level of just being able to re-roll everything. Um, like I don't know if that gets them there. Like especially with how much Meltas have kind of gone down, but like maybe this will be an era of like taking a lot of tanks, like the gosh, I'm blanking on everything today. Not the Repulsor Executioner, the Lancer. Just seems like it if that gun on the Lancer kind of like keeps it same, not the same power or strength at least, but like the same power level and gets to like strength 11 or 12, like that's gonna get some stuff done. I will say the Melta thing bothers me. Like I know Meltas were just like too good at everything, but like they seem bad at strength 9. Like I feel like they don't accomplish the thing they should be setting out to do. Like it's like a weirdly damaging like anti-infantry unit. And I was stupid enough earlier today to say, isn't a pistol just better because it's cheaper than a Melta? And then someone rightfully corrected my dumbass. That was embarrassing for me. I felt really stupid after that, but I deserved it. I mean, yeah, it can be, but like if you fired, I specifically said into a knight because both of them are going to be at um, like 5 versus 6. Why isn't this connecting correctly? Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Like if Meltas, it would be interesting. Like if they have all these like increases in strength or in toughness, right? But weapon equipment is still free, like it was for Space Marines at the end. That would be interesting. I know some people will hate that, and I think it would be bad because like you would never want to take a sword over a hammer. But I mean, swords do look cooler. That's right. I said it. Although I guess if it's a sword and it's still a 5 to damage versus a hammer that's still a 5 to damage, the sword's just better, right? Because the sword isn't -1 to hit. I do think it's less damage though, assuming everything stays the same as it is right now, which is impossible to know. All right, so we got this guy. He now has a head and a little grot friend. I need to find a way to get. Is there like a Mega Knob that's on a bike? Oh, just power weapons? That would be cool. I do like that. I do like that. If that is an actual change they're making. And if it is an actual change they're making, I say you sue them for stealing your idea without proper, trademarking or whatever. You can just point to this video as evidence. It'll go over great. It's being taken out of rotation. Is it in Mega Armor? Because I feel like this is enough space to write, if you can read this, the grot fell off on the back of it. Which is like, I feel like just the right spot for what orcs are. Okay, the war boss on the trike I might be able to do that with. I don't know if I'd ever use it. I can't. You know what? I don't actually know any of the rules, right? For what orcs are gonna be like in 10th edition, but like the Wog and the Speed Wog being totally separate things. Where like, if you're going to have a speed boss, you need to just bring a lot of bikes, right? Because you can't regular Wog, you can only Speed Wog, and the Speed Wog only affects bikes. Like, that's kind of irritating. And then I gotta get my orthodontia on. Yeah, I'm hoping that it changes. My orthodontia. I really love this model. This is a sweet looking model. I am kind of interested to see if anyone has like randomly watched this, just like clicking through things on YouTube and been like, "Wow, the production values on this are terrible." It's because they are. Yeah, look at that guy. You know, you guys probably have paid significantly better attention to the rules than I have. Do we know what it's going to look like if a model gets like placed into a unit and they have different speeds? Like, how's that going to work? I know, gosh, what's that really terrible Space Marine chapter? Deathwatch, maybe? No, that's the Chaos Space Marine one. The one that yeah, all of them. Yeah, Death Watch. Are you sure it's that? No, Death Guard is Chaos Space Marines, right? Okay, I've been informed that it is Death Watch. But they have a bit of a mess because some of them go at like significantly different speeds than other ones, right? Because they have like units that are like dudes on foot, and then also like bikes, and that just like the bikes are twice as fast. When you say pseudo chapter, does that mean like they're like they don't have a Primarch or anything, right? I also kind of wonder if like any Space Marine chapters could just stop existing. You know, like Death Guard are such a mess that if they were just like, yeah, we were trying something here, it didn't work, we're sorry. Like, would anyone actually care? I wouldn't. I guess I don't know. I don't know anyone who's like actually spent time on like putting a Death Guard army together or Death Watch army together. Oh, so they're supposed to be like the best of the best then? Or is it like one of those things where like we're making a team of the best, and then there's like, yeah, we can't afford to lose this guy, so like send him Doug. Doug, go out there and show him what's up. That happens all the time at my company, where it's just like we need this team from various different things. They're like, yeah, we can't afford to lose someone who's good, so they just said to whoever. Kind of hope that they kind of do some more explanations into just like what day to day life is for a space marine. If they have like little annoyances, like little, there's like a space marine Seinfeld out there being like, "Hey, what's the deal with airplane food, but with drop pods?" There are really books on that. That's wild. Space Marine has like, I swear, Space Marines probably have like what 50% of the player base and probably 50% of the books, if not more. But like, what's the RPG called? It's just called Death Watch. Is it like a tabletop RPG or like a CRPG? D100 system. Hmm. D100 um Call of Cthulhu sort of D100. That's a D100, right? Why won't this stupid thing go on? Okay, so this is supposed to go here. That's supposed to be this one. Okay. My bad. I'll have to take a look at that. That seems pretty cool. I like that idea. I like D100 games in general. I really like Call of Cthulhu. As Don can probably attest to, me being irritating about Call of Cthulhu. And if you're gonna say I'm not irritating about it, oh, I'll try harder. I'll try way harder. God, this guy came out and he just looks great. This model, my camera is so terrible. It does not have a focal point. Looks sweet. Boom! 1 war boss in mega armor. Done. Five flesh hounds. Dang, dude, you were so much faster at this than me. Good job, though. Well, with that, and being all set on the models that I had planned for tonight, plus an extra one, I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great night, guys. Bye.